Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Campfire Tales. This is episode 3. I'm Gothic Sin. As always, with me is Breakman, also known as Ash.
Hi, guys.
And it's been a while since we did one of these, between hardware issues and timing and kids and one thing and another. Hard to believe. November 3rd, 2017.
Yeah, that is 21 months ago, nearly.
Nearly 2 years. I mean, we're sat on the precipice of an expansion, so that alone tells you how long it's been.
Yeah.
So the purpose of this one is we're going to catch up ahead of the expansion, and then when the expansion comes back, we don't have to backtrack to Stormblood content. Now, I believe 4.1 had just come out, the last one we did this with Phil.
Yes, it would have been. It was November and didn't come out a couple of months earlier.
October, mid-October, I think.
Yeah.
So, in all that, we've had quite a bit of content. I'm going to start with the housing updates because 4.2 brought the account lock, so you can only have one personal house and one FC house per, I think it's per server.
Yeah.
So if you had 4 characters on one server, you could only have one house. But if you had 4 characters on 4 servers, you can have 4 houses, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was badly needed. The housing system was a mess, especially for those that were hoarding, 5 and 6 houses at one point, I think.
Yeah.
It was a bit ridiculous. And of course, that allowed me to get my medium house, which I'm dead proud of.
Unfortunately, it's a shame that was needed because you're always going to get people who are just going to go, I want all these houses just because, they can.
Well, it was that, and people were selling them off, so that you ended up with people making 3 times like what the land plots were worth.
Yeah.
I mean, take a mansion, that's an average of 20 mil plus, so, you're making a fair bit of profit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was needed. I think for the most part, it's kind of working. And obviously, when a house is vacated now, it doesn't go immediately into being purchasable. It goes into a cooldown that's got a random timer on it. So you don't really know how long it's going to be before that plot of land becomes available.
Yeah.
Annoying, but there we have it. I'm kind of hoping we get more housing with the expansion, but I guess we'll see sooner rather than later.
And that would be a good system because obviously you have people who would just randomly abandon houses and the plot of land would just be tied up with them forever, effectively.
Yeah, pretty much. We've also had the introduction of the Omega raids. Not that I actually remember any of them. I know the third one was always a pain in the ass.
There was one with gravity, wasn't there? A gravity mechanic. I remember that one vividly.
Yeah. I just remember the third fight in the series was always the worst. But I don't really remember that much of Omega, to be honest. Even the Omega fight weren't that hard, if I remember right. We got the 4 Lords, which is things like Byaku, and I think Wreath of Snakes is one. I don't remember those fights that well either.
I think I did them to clear them.
Yeah, I've done them to clear them. But unless I get thrown in them off at Mental Roulette, I don't tend to remember them. They gave us Fashion Report, which that's a fun way of making MGP. 60k a week. Helped you out no end for the crossover event.
Did it ever? It's quite a lot of MGP as well for relatively little work.
Yep, absolutely.
Certainly when you consider time spent versus MGP got back, it's a fantastic thing to do.
Yeah, and if you're lucky on the Catpot as well, you can basically net almost 100,000 in one go.
Yeah.
Assuming you hit 10k more than once, which I've never actually done.
I only did it once, but my last time on Catpot, I got 21 free times, which was quite bizarre.
Nice.
But that got me, 1,000 and 1,000 and odd, I think it was, per run. So it got me over 3,000, and that's what got me the 200,000 I needed.
Yeah, which is handy, and it got you the car, which is what you wanted. I mean, we'll cover the crossover event later. We got Fractal Hard, which vaguely remember. Lots of big pulls to the end, clear, boss, pull to the end, clear, boss, pretty much. Seems to be the way fights are going these days.
Yeah. Even on the latest expert dungeons, most of the time they're pulling 2 or 3 groups and then wiping them all out and then pulling another 2 or 3 groups and then it's time.
Or they just pull everything to boss door and wipe it all out.
Yeah, or as far as they can.
Yeah.
And unless you get that guy who pulled 1 or 2 enemies every single time and it took like 50 minutes.
Usually new tanks, so we're not sure of the self-size.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd do similar because I'm very tentative as a tank. I'm not as bad as I was. I'm not a good tank by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't suck as bad as I did.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop back to 4.1, which brought us Royal City of Ravenastra. I think Yoshi's trying to kill us. Because the Ravenastra series was fecking brutal.
Yeah, they were all a nightmare for me, to be honest. There's just so many mechanics, an incredible amount of mechanics.
It's kind of one of those things, though. It's like I said, you've got to do it because it falls under your own thing of content, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So even if you spend most of it dead, at least you're getting your clears. Rab's not that bad now. Rito's still a pain in the ass, and well, I hate Orobon, so yeah. The other thing we got in 4.2, finally, at long last, is we touched on this in the last podcast about when we were getting the new anima weapons. We didn't. We got Eureka instead. We got Animus in 4.2. Unique, to say the least. A frustrating experience getting out of the ground, I found. Starting out in there, I found really frustrating.
Your first 10 hours there are really, really tough until you get some sort of traction.
You've got to get to 6 or 7 and then you can get on fate trains.
And then you can get around without watching every single step you take.
I don't think you can do that until about level 10, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's when you can start moving around a bit more safely.
It might depend who you're with as well.
Yeah. I mean, you had the added bonus by that point. They'd put the challenge log in.
Yeah.
Which I didn't have when I did Animus, and I did it pre-nerf, as usual. You know, my pride issues on that.
Must have taken you, many, many hours longer.
Probably took longer, but I got lucky, and I got a higher level that sort of dropped back and helped the lower levels.
Yeah.
So I got lucky in that respect. But once you're level 6 and got onto Fate Train, it weren't so bad.
And once you've got your first Aetherite unlocked.
Yeah. Being able to move around the map. I mean, the good thing about Animus is neither of those Aetherites were level locked.
Yeah.
You just had to get to them in one piece.
So you could basically piggyback there.
I mean, we've got to be thankful for those ninjas that walk the map and get all the little bits and pieces. Those maps on Reddit were an absolute godsend.
Yeah. And they go up within 3 or 4 days, more or less complete, wouldn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Certainly very usable.
And within the first week, you pretty much had the final versions.
Yeah.
And the patterns down, so it made it really, really, really easy for some of us.
And the final versions were a mess of colours and icons and names.
Yeah, but at least they were readable.
But yeah, they were more readable than they could have been.
That's true.
And to think so many complained about Animus at the time, but
to be fair, we complained about every version, didn't we? But yeah, I mean, I think Animus was nerfed pretty quick as well, if I remember right.
Did you realise the design of Animus wasn't that bad at all compared to Pagos? It was quite easy to get around.
We'll get to Pagos sooner rather than later. But yeah, I mean, and we also got the Anata Beast tribes, which I'm about 2/3 of the way through now, I think. Using them to level Paladin and White Mage.
Yeah.
And we finally convinced you to try a new class.
Red Mage.
How are you finding it?
Yeah, fine. I'm I'm nearly level 60. I'm
good.
going to go, when I hit 60, I'm going to go practice and get the rotation properly down because I'll have most of my moves then.
Yeah.
I've put Verkia on bar 1 because I get fed up of switching to bar 2. And I don't need teleport and return on bar 1 because I've got them on bar 8. So
yeah. Well, that's the advantage. I mean, I've got my teleports and mount controls and map deciphers. I've got those all on separate bar as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Red Mage. It's a flexible, fun class. But hopefully it'll come in handy with those fights where you're struggling.
Yeah.
With Bard where you can't self-heal. You know, if you can throw off a couple of Verkios while you're mid-combat, might just be the difference between life and death.
Yeah.
May make the expansion a little easier for you.
And then you can end up, obviously, confidence will grow as you use it and you'll get to learn rotation better, so you'll do more damage as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the rotation is not overly complex anyway, thankfully. I mean, I doubt by any stretch I use the most efficient one, but it does what I need to. And
yeah,
I've sort of become lazy. Red Mage is kind of my lazy DPS class now.
Yeah.
But I've just picked back up with Scholar starting to knock the rust off.
Yeah.
And I've only got, 26 days before early access, so...
So you need to be ready for your 2 or 3 main classes, don't you? And ready to use them.
I need to be Scholar ready, because I'll be doing the expansion Scholar again.
Yeah.
So I'll be going into everything blind, because we won't have that added advantage of videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I can't be trying to pick the class back up and get through new content. It's just not conducive, and it's going to cause problems.
Yeah. Especially when you're a Scholar and you're a main player of every party, aren't you?
Yeah. And the DPS classes are going to jump with Dancer coming out, so that's another DPS class, so that's going to jump DPS queues.
Yeah.
And of course we get Gunbreaker.
And that'll be a tank, isn't it?
It's a tank, yeah. Interesting, to say the least. It's one we've been waiting for. It's a throwback to Final Fantasy VIII.
I'm assuming it'll play differently to a lot of the other tanks, if not all of them.
I would assume it'll play slightly different, seeing as the original Gunblade class, you had to also hit one of the shoulder keys to pull the trigger exactly as you hit the strike in Final Fantasy VIII. So it'll be interesting to see how they add that mechanic in. Oh, no, we know how they're doing it. It's in the movesets. It uses cartridges to add damage. It'll be interesting. I mean, they're making a lot of changes to the battle system as well, so... it'll be a learning curve for everybody in the first couple of days, as usual.
That means I'll have to relearn bad again from the ground up. Well,
yeah, I'm afraid so.
Maybe not quite like... But see, there's not much wrong with bad now, so maybe not quite as bad as when Wanderer's Menu A disappeared and it was like, oh, start again.
Yeah, not having to bloody stand still while you're getting off even simple attacks was kind of ridiculous.
Basically become a caster.
Yep, pretty much. So I think that covers 4.2. So that took us to the end of... All right, so on we go. 4.3. This is roundabout when you came back the first time. We got Reader and Lighthouse with that stupid red chocobo fight. Jesus Christ. Has the chocobos and it has that bloody meteor drop.
Oh, yeah.
That fight was friggin' frustrating.
And everyone's got to be absolutely perfect on it, or else it just wipes.
No, it's just part of the unlock, but it's as you attack the stat chocobo, so you've got to constantly be moving out of the AoEs for meteor. It's a pain in the ass. If you go and look the fight up, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, it was pain in it. Mind you, if you did it early enough, then you probably got lucky and like kind of tripped over everybody else doing it.
Yeah.
But if you do it later, then it's harder. I tried doing it recently, and Jesus, I got hammered. So, yeah, not fun.
I think there's certain fights that are never going to be fun, no matter how yeah, aren't they?
Yeah, some I just think they do it just to annoy us.
So then that dungeon where you've got the one with the cannons and you've got to all get on a cannon.
Yeah. Stone Vigil Hard, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And you got to use the cannon to fight the bloody fight rather than attack the monster itself. Yeah, I remember that one.
It doesn't matter how powerful you are, everyone's got to get on a cannon.
Yeah.
And everyone's got to know what
everyone's got to cover everybody or you wipe.
No one can afford to screw up.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that one. But yeah, and then obviously Readeran itself was a pain in the ass. Still is. We also got Namazu Beast Tribes, which is not really relevant to you because you don't do crafting because you're lazy. Oh, as you said, you'd be here forever. We got Deltascape, which
the Deltascape, which I think I started on. I can remember doing some of them.
Yeah, Deltascape was it had the boss everybody wanted, and I can't remember his friggin' name. Deltascape 4 was X-Death. But yeah, it's honestly, I don't really remember many of the Omega fights, to be honest. They did add that in where if you get locked out of the boss fights now, it pulls you into them.
Yeah, I can remember for many months, if you got locked out, you were just sat on the outside.
Yeah, if you weren't there fast enough, it'd lock you out.
And then you were just sat there like an idiot.
But now it basically pushes you into the dungeon itself. I don't know if it works the same when you die and stupidly throw yourself out.
Yeah.
But if you're not in the dungeon by the time, or if you just can't keep up the way some people run through, like the two from A Realm Reborn, it pulls you up now.
Yeah.
We got Kurenai's custom deliveries, which again is crafting. We got crossword link shells at last. Again, not really relevant. The only link shell I actually use is the Final Fantasy forums one.
Yeah.
They changed the non-player markers so that you could tell pets and stuff apart from players.
Like when you've got your scholar.
Fairies, yeah.
Fairies, yeah.
It appears as like a little V now.
Yeah. And I see the Doman Enclave was added as well.
Yep. We got the
first mention of it.
We got the Doman Enclave, which is basically easy money. And a good place to dump all the crap you get from Eureka.
I need to clear out my inventory again, actually.
Yeah, boxes and boxes and boxes.
No, just stuff from life quests and other random stuff that's basically useless.
Yeah. And all that material you got from bloody Eureka boxes. My God. No wonder bloody market prices crashed.
But all the stuff I've got won't even sell for any money because it's about 2.5 years out of date. So
yeah, well, best place to send it is Enclave because I think it's 75% markup.
Yeah.
So as a sale, it's more effective than just taking it to an NPC sale.
Yeah.
Like I said, putting it on market's worthless. So, and they also added Weapons Reframe Ultimate, which is ultimate, because everybody were complaining the Savage fights were too easy.
I didn't think that was quite that old.
Yeah, it is. I think we've got 3 now. But yeah, Yoshi P's comments were, if it's too hard, don't come crying to me.
Yeah.
They added the Eureka challenge log in there somewhere around that time.
Yeah, 4.35. Heaven on High came out as well.
Yep, which is Stormblood's equivalent of Deep Dungeon.
Yeah.
A good alternate leveling system for 60 to 70.
I could do that with Reg Mage as long as I can half get rotation down.
Yeah. But then you've got your Beast Tribes as well, so if you sort of do that over the top, you'll be all right. And between that and challenge log, it shouldn't take long.
Yeah.
They also finally added the search for item system, which is great as a crafter. And I know I've got the materials, but can't remember where the hell they are. It now tells me.
Oh, so you can search, or it tells you.
Well, like, yeah, you hit square and then search for item, and it tells you where it is, if it's in your retainers, if it's in your inventory, and it tells you what block it's in and stuff. So it's really helpful.
Yeah.
Makes hunting shit down a lot easier.
Because you could spend a good half an hour sometimes.
Well, I've got 4 retainers, so you know.
Yeah.
Do the math. 4 retainers, 8 pages each.
Yeah, which equates to, well, somewhere around 1,000 items of all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
An awful lot.
And all of them are nearly full.
Yeah.
And then 4.36 brought. Well, we're not going to go there yet. Let's start with a Monster Hunter crossover event. Rathalos.
Oh, remember that one.
A unique experience, that one. We threw the Final Fantasy mechanics out the window. No, well, Rathalos doesn't take note of rolls. He ignores the tank. He'll hit whoever the hell he wants when he wants. Second phase of the fight, the healers can't heal you.
Yeah, you had to heal yourself, if I remember.
Yep, with the potions, mega potions.
I did it a couple of months after it came out, so I was not late, but I wasn't early either.
Yeah. Well, it's relative. In terms, it's been in the last, for 3-4 months you've done it.
Yeah, maybe 5 to 6, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, it was a different experience, that one. Good fight, though. Not as bad as I were expecting.
Yeah, that's true. I was expecting it to be really tough. I can imagine first couple of weeks when it came out, it would have been an absolute nightmare.
Nah, even then it weren't. As long as you remembered that second phase, you were all right. But yeah, and then of course you've got to remember to grab your materials, or it's a wasted 10 minutes.
Yeah, you've got to grab the scales, haven't you?
Yep. I mean, I've got Monster Hunter myself on Xbox, so I'm kind of used to that. But yeah, definitely a different experience, that one. And then we got Pagus. What can we say about Eureka Pagus?
Oh. Absolutely brutal.
Oh.
And it's not just because of the enemies, it's because of the map as well. You've got to learn the map.
Yep, you've got those two. Well, basically, you've only got 2 accesses up to the top half of the map. So the map's basically in 3 sections.
Yeah, and you've got drop-offs and one-way systems. And
yeah. The Aetherites were level locked.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Yoshi.
And they were high level locked as well, to be honest.
Yeah, and we had the walking mechanic. Having to walk by those damn dragons.
Walk up the middle, didn't you?
Yeah, those stupid dragons. Make a mistake and it's a one-shot dead.
Yeah, because at that level, you were walking up because you weren't high enough level to mount.
Yep.
But of course, that meant as soon as they hit you, you were dead.
Well, it weren't even that. I mean, even without the mounts, until you were at least sort of almost fully leveled, you didn't stand a chance.
Yeah. Because you couldn't run away from them. So even if you could take one hit,
they got you with a second.
You did too much damage for you to recover.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got lucky and there'd be the light farming parties. Thank you for that again, Yoshi. We all love light farming. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eureka Pargas was definitely designed to punish the players. It was supposed to stop the higher levels leaving the lower levels, but well. And of course, the elusive, only ever seen her once, Cassie.
Yeah.
That everybody believed at one point was a myth.
Yeah, it was very, very strange. I went for like 3 weeks there and never fought her, and I fought her twice in 2 days. It was really weird.
I'm not really sure how the spawning for her worked. But yeah, it was. I've only seen her once, and that was when I went back through to do Red Mage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was beginning to believe she was a complete fiction of somebody's imagination at one point.
It's very funny when she did spawn. Everyone just yelled Cassie, and the entire raid
would be up in that top corner.
440 odd of them sprinted as fast as they could over to Cassie. You could see people, map just moved and migrated like a swarm of ants into that top corner.
Yep. And I also got the bunny system.
Yeah.
Win the bunny fate, follow the bunny to a chest.
Yeah.
She's fun.
And make the rewards.
Kind of redundant in Pargas, to be honest.
Amazing, yeah.
I think I've only ever done 1 or 2 bunny chests in Pargas.
They're nice when they're nice to level up the first 3 or 4 levels to get you started.
Yeah, but yeah, Pargas was it was painful.
And also you could do a bunny fate, and of course getting to the chest would be treacherous because the chest could be anywhere and it could be miles away.
Yeah, the chest would be on bloody Cassie spawn point now in my luck.
Yeah.
Oh, that had the final pickup to that will round the back of all those bloody griffins, weren't it?
Oh yes, it was. Yeah.
Bloody nightmare to walk up there.
That was the one where I had someone just to pull. I think he pulled one of them off for me, so I could just run past the best of them.
Yeah, I ended up. I think somebody took me on a mount in the end.
Yeah.
My kids are getting along playing Minecraft. That's unnerving.
Nope.
Not sure which bit though. No, they're getting along. Definitely, that's the unnerving part.
Helpful.
Right, I just had a thought. Dangerous, I know, but I think we should alternate these podcasts. We'll do one as we are. It'll be Final Fantasy 14 based.
Yep.
We'll try and find guests and whatnot. And then the one after will just be a regular gaming one.
Yeah.
And then we can go into the other stuff we're doing.
Yeah, that would be good actually. That gives us more content.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And we're not constantly locked on. Because sometimes it's going to be like, well, especially seeing as I'll be the only one actually playing. And you sort of drop in and out, don't you?
Well, I'll be much more playing once I pick up the new expansion.
Yeah. I'm figuring once a month. Unless it blows up to some capacity.
Yeah.
So, right. So we've covered Pargas and how painful that was to play. 4.4 finished. Yes, finished the Omega series.
Yeah.
And we finally got to fight and beat Omega and send him scurrying off with a temper tantrum.
And an Alphascape came out as well.
Yeah, that was Alphascape.
Yeah.
They added the bonding ceremony vow renewals, also known as the wedding vow renewals anniversary celebrations. Yes, you can get married in Final Fantasy 14, Ash. We got new Eorzea content. Have you ever actually been in there?
No, I haven't.
With the maps and the portals. I've been in a couple. Never got anything significant from them, but it's interesting how that works. Maybe we'll have to put a couple of maps aside, see if we can get in. we got the new Grand Company rank, which I've still yet to actually do because you need to do, I think it's 5 squadron missions
Yeah.
to get it. And I've done, I think, 2. You actually got the Grand Company squadrons open? Are you still trying to level it up?
I'm leveling it up, but to be honest, I've totally forgot about it because I was concentrating on clearing content. But it wasn't actually on the list.
And not a priority. They added mannequins for showing off gear, which is great because it means I can now finally show off my favourite gear set, which is still the ESO gear from Heaven's Ward, the steampunk stuff.
Yeah.
By far, I think that's the best gear set we've had. Though the new job gear at level 80 is going to be interesting because it's no longer one set for everybody. Is one set for male and then the female's different.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
It's taken them a lot longer than I thought it would.
It has. And obviously we're getting the 2 new races, one being male locked, which is basically Kamari's race from 10.
Yeah.
And the Vieira from 12. So come Shadowbringers, it'll be a mass influx of bunny girls. And Square will be raking it in with thingy potions.
Jump potions.
Not the jump potions, the glamour, the ones that let you change appearance and stuff. I forgot what that bloody called. You think I'd researched this before we went on the air? Fantasia potions. I actually have a couple tucked away because, like, I got one when I bought the collector's edition of A Realm Reborn and one with the collector's edition of Heaven's Ward.
Yeah.
But I've got no intentions of using them. I like my cat.
And you may get another one with the Shadowbringers.
No, you don't. No, we don't. I've already checked. It's a mount. Another mount that's exclusive to the collector's edition.
Yeah.
But I get the digital ones because obviously the physical ones, they have like the statues and stuff, but you know, not even I can magic 100 odd quid.
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to. Or the space for said statues for that matter. They reduced the cost of the mini pot from 300 to just 10. So no matter what you get now, it's a return.
It would have been very difficult to make consistent money when it was like 300 quid.
It weren't actually that hard, but I mean that's 600. So as long as you hit something that balanced it out, it weren't so bad. But there was always that chance of operating at a loss.
Yeah.
I mean, I was fortunate in that I'd put enough away to just buy everything I needed from the crossover event before it ended.
Yeah.
I mean, I had nearly 300,000, but you know, to make it, if it had still been that, then it would have been a lot harder for people to grind it out, I think.
Yeah. It would have taken another many hours were it not for fashion reports.
Yeah, again, that was something that really helped people. They added the groundwork for the settings backup system. My God, am I thankful for that.
Is that for your bars? And
yeah, that's how I was able to transfer my data from PlayStation to my PC, if you remember.
Yeah.
I backed the data up to cloud and then pulled it down on my end. So now I'm not constantly having 2 sets of bars.
Yeah.
How they play with a keyboard and mouse, I'll never know. My hat's off to a lot of them because I just cannot do it.
It's just so much more skill based, isn't it? I assume you move the mouse pointer around, but
well, you just click on the skills as opposed to hitting them on the keys. But maybe if I'd have started on a keyboard and mouse, you know, I'm still relatively new to PC gaming, to be honest.
Yeah. It's just more skill intensive, isn't it? Because obviously the buttons are quite small and you've got to be very precise.
Yeah, exactly. And then 4.45 brought us part 3 of Eureka, Pyros, which I actually remember very little of.
I can remember really liking the look of it.
Yeah, Pyros, I know the map was a lot better.
And being very relieved.
Everybody breathed a sigh of relief for the map.
We were dreading the map, thinking, oh my God, what's coming next? And then it was actually much like Animos. It was very sensibly designed.
Yeah. And it also introduced the logogram system, which I'm actually thankful for. Because of that system, I was making almost 4 million a day at one point.
Yeah, they are a very good way of making money. It's actually it's actually a very good way of collecting things as well, and give you something to aim for once you've leveled up.
Yeah. And obviously, you getting the skills like being able to bards being able to self heal, raise, help people out. It was a nice system they added in. It was well thought out, I think. I don't want to say stopped you relying on people so much, but it does in a way.
It stopped you crying out for healers and praying that a healer came if you died.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, unless a healer came past you and was kind enough to res you, you were screwed.
At least now, if there's 2 of you and one of you got raised, you're all right.
Yeah, well,
by that point, I'd kind of started dipping in and out with Red Mage as well. So, I think from Pyros, I kind of did it as Red Mage.
Yeah.
Or Res Mage, as we're called.
You'd think that the majority would have raise as well. Bear in mind that there's a few slots for the logograms, so it's not like you've only got 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So most would have raise just in case.
Yeah. And there was a lot of there was like 3 items that I've never ever seen drop in there for me that let you add another slot to the Magia board. But
you had to get them from the fates, didn't you?
Yeah, there were ultra rare drops, and I just never saw them drop. Oh, not for me personally, anyway. Pargoth added the other lock boxes, didn't it? The ice cold lock boxes or whatever they were. So you ended up with like 3 lock boxes in Pyros. So you got the fire warped, you got the bunny ones, which were better thought out because the logograms dropped from them.
Yeah, so it gave you a reason to go for bunny fates, didn't it?
Yep. And then obviously you got the ones that just drop from normal fates.
Because before the logogram system, obviously, once you got to a certain high enough level, the XP just wasn't worth the effort of the bunny fates.
Yeah.
So I know in Pagos and Animos, when I got to a certain high level, I wouldn't have bothered with any sort of lower level fates. It was a case of I want the top half of the fate chains, and then
oh yeah, Pyros was effectively 3. Was it a Pyros? Yeah, because that had the doll fight, didn't it? In the bottom corner.
Yeah.
But you farmed quite a lot.
Yeah. Which was an incredible jump up in XP when you first start. It really was.
Yeah. And then you had the Aetherite in the middle.
Yeah.
And then the Aetherite at the top that had like 3 or 4 big fates that spawned along that top wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I vaguely remember it.
There wasn't the one on the left side as well. There was one on the left side, one on the right side, and one in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, Pyros became easier once you had those Aetherites unlocked.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting up that middle section was a pain in the backside if you weren't leveled.
Yeah.
And I had, what was the big boss from that one? Penny.
Yeah.
With that long trek all the way to the top right of the map.
Yeah. Although she was worth it XP wise.
Oh, absolutely.
Because at least in Pyros, they really made it worthwhile XP wise for the fates.
And they also made it obviously, until the nerfs come in, it's the only way to get the level 19, 20 items. So if nothing else, you've got to go there to get those.
Oh yeah, when you had to be level 19 to get the flames.
For the final for the final upgrades.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Pyros was definitely better. It was better thought out, much less painful in a lot of ways.
It was still a grind, but it wasn't a brutally difficult grind.
Yeah, I mean they've all been a grind, but I mean you relied on the challenge log. We had a lot of heated conversations because I wouldn't. Yeah. But you used the challenge log pretty much religiously.
Yeah, the first thing I did as soon as I got in Eureka.
I used the challenge log, but I didn't force it.
Yeah.
Once I was able to get on the train, that was it. I used the trains exclusively.
Whereas I used the challenge log to level up so I could get on the trains.
Yeah.
More than anything. I mean, well, obviously, once I got on the trains, I'd take care of Ashkins because it's a nighttime spawn, so target those first, and then the sprites, and then after that,
you went into Pyros before me, didn't you?
Yeah, I did actually. That was the only one where I was in first.
Didn't my sub lapse?
Yes, it did.
And you had like a week on me, and I came back within a week. I were ahead of you.
Yeah, around about a week.
Yeah, but yeah, Pyros was definitely easier in a lot of ways.
I've made a much better start than I did in Pagos, but I didn't break a record in terms of progression in general. I was a steady progression.
All pre-nerf though, right?
In Pyros, yeah.
So at least you've got that this time. I've done them all pre-nerf.
Yeah, I once I got through Pagos and I realised that Pyros was relatively manageable. I could see that, I could actually finish Eureka without it being ridiculously difficult. I think it's just Pagos put the wind up everyone, to be honest. Everyone was dreading Pyros and Part 4, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever it was going to be in Part 4.
Yeah, it was actually surprising when Hydratos came out. The really small map, that was like, wow. Between the really small map, we're going into 4.5 now anyway, so Hydratos was the really small map, and it also had an incredible XP drive.
Yeah,
so
it did.
You could level up really, really fast.
Even more than Pyros. They almost overdid it with the XP.
But it was all geared to get you into Arsenal.
Yeah.
Which, considering how much of a clusterfuck that was on Primal at the time, I've still never been in. In fact, I've pretty much given it up as a bad job. It's like, it got ridiculous to like where parties were basically camping on the spawn points, and if you weren't in their parties, basically had no chance of getting in.
Yeah, they should have somehow foreseen that, I think.
I think in all reality, they should have just made it almost a normal dungeon.
Yeah. Just ultimate difficulty.
Yeah. And just basically, I mean, it's got Ozma hard in there as well.
Not that Ozma's easy.
Yeah, not that Ozma were easy at the time.
Ozma's never easy because there's so many mechanics.
It's easy now.
Yeah, but you are vastly overpowered now. But
I haven't seen Ozma fail in a long, long time. But then we've got the Ozma version, the Ozma-esque fight in Orobon, in the monastery, the last part of the 24-man.
Of the 24-mans, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a very similar fight to Ozma. But yeah, the Baldesian Arsenal, it was such a mess, and I think I only ever made it past like the first fight.
Yeah.
But once the farming parties came in, you had no chance, and it was ridiculous.
It's a shame because it's a great idea in terms of content-wise.
Oh, absolutely. A hard dungeon that's designed to challenge you, and you're not going to make it through without going in constantly and learning every mechanic in every fight. It was a fantastic idea, but the execution was terrible.
Maybe it wouldn't surprise me if there's another like a BA2 in Shadowbringers eventually somewhere.
It just needed to either be some sort of singular queue system within it. I mean, it was half of the instance that could queue for that. So that's 70 people in one dungeon. They're definitely testing how much they can get into an instance in one go. I think we may, at some point, start seeing bigger fights.
I think
possibly 16-man bosses and stuff.
Yeah, it was interesting in Hydatos. There was one fight down right in the deep south where you had to help the guys out in the arsenal.
Yeah. Yep.
What it was called.
Yeah. You did that fight and it spawned the portals to go into the support fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was definitely interesting as well.
And they would call out saying, we're going to do the support fight so everyone get down there and, get us through.
Which is all well and good. And even if you don't care about the support fight, the XP is worth it.
The XP was brilliant, yeah. So everyone went and did it.
Obviously, 4-5 wrapped up the story. We're all ready to head into Shadowbringers. It looks like we're going to become the Warriors of Darkness.
Which has been a theme, certainly all the way through, certainly through Stormblood.
Heaven's Ward.
Maybe even, Heaven's Ward.
Heaven's Ward. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting turn considering we've been all good and Warrior of Light since the start. So changing fundamentally who we are is going to be interesting.
And in a lot of fantasy games, you're always good and, virtuous. And so it's going to be good to be like different and be like possibly the motives are different, the characters will be different, the world might be different.
Oh, the world's definitely different.
The way it's designed, it looks.
You're going to hate the maps, that's all I'm saying. We also got Eorzea, which was Yojimbo, the final primal fight, who turned out to be Greg.
I don't think I've done that, actually.
Have you not done Kagani Eorzea?
Am I thinking of a Hildebrand one?
Yeah, it's the Hildebrand fight.
Yeah, no, I think that's the only primal I haven't done, the normal ones anyway.
You should get that done before your sub expires then.
I need to get that done, yeah.
They turned the world visit system on, so we can wander off and visit any worlds we want on our own data center, which not really relevant to us. I mean, I've got characters on other servers anyway, so the server backup system works, which again we've already covered. And we got the Final Fantasy 15 crossover event.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
So everyone's got these massive
4-person mount, fantastic.
Oh, there's that.
Noctis's AI, very questionable. Because he'd either stand in every AoE and end up dead, or he'd dodge everything. And you had to basically hope you landed on the run where he dodges everything. Otherwise, you had no bloody chance of doing it.
If he doesn't feel like moving out of the AoEs, it doesn't matter how good you are, there's nothing you can do.
Nope. I mean, I saw you get almost to clear a couple of times and, well, he got totaled, didn't he?
And then I had one run where he decided to move it. So I was like, oh, we could have done that first time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, now you decide to do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, at least hold your end of the bargain up. Give me a chance.
Yeah. I ended up having to switch to Scholar so that he also pick up and I could heal him if he got it too bloody deep.
Yeah, I think I got a fraction lucky.
Yeah, you just got that one run where the AI was on point. If they don't correct that, then this trust system's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I could have been 7-8 runs deep and an hour into that and just not been having a chance. But thankfully,
well, it took you more than an hour.
It is worrying that if the AI isn't perfect, then you're just going to have fights where you've no chance on a regular basis.
I mean, even the Squadron's AI is not fantastic.
But you're not going to know until you get in the fight either.
No, but if this trust system is supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to. I think you can do the Shadowbringers dungeons by yourself using the trust system. I know you'll be happy about that.
Certainly for certain ones, yeah.
But if that trust system's not on point, you're going to struggle.
Yeah. I think I'd like to clear them all, certainly once with a normal party. Yeah. I mean, I will be doing a lot of the dungeons, obviously, for tomes. So,
yeah.
Really, there's no excuse to not clear them properly.
Well, no, I mean, I absolutely agree. There's no excuse to not do them properly. And with the systems we have in place, even if we got into a situation like Nidhogg now, there's no excuse for not being able to find a way through.
Yeah, we've got a lot of experienced players and strategies.
And between the party finder and stuff like that, you should always be able to get a party together to be able to do the content. I mean, I know it does come down to a lot of times players will wipe once and half of them will bugger off, which is really not helpful.
Yeah.
You know, they'd rather eat the 30-minute penalty than help people, which is kind of annoying, but...
Which is a bit depressing, but yeah.
At least if you've got a party finder, you can ask them to stick around because you suck.
I mean, you know me, I'm perfectly honest. If I suck at something, I'll just say it. So
yeah.
Sometimes I'm on the verge of being like, almost putting myself down because I want to be honest. I don't want to be like, I'm good at it and then just have a bad run.
I say a lot of it with you is because you come in after like 2-3 months off. And obviously, you put that much pressure on yourself to be as good as you were before you've knocked the rust off. And I think that kind of impacts you negatively sometimes.
I think it'll be interesting when the new expansion does come out because I'll be more regularly on it because obviously there's so much to do.
Yeah.
So it won't be a month here, a month there. It'll be a solid 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Well, it probably won't take that. I think when Stormblood came out, you were in within a couple of weeks, and then you left just after the first patch. So it's like 3 months in it, 3-4 months.
Yeah.
I'll be in from early access. Hopefully, we won't get any Roban Pippin X scenarios with the servers going haywire.
Yeah, with the server crashes and people literally being unable to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was ridiculous at one point. Hopefully we won't get that, especially with having 2 brand new data centers. Hopefully it'll give us a bit more room to maneuver. So that at least sets us up ready for the expansion.
Because obviously with the server going down early access, and it's total disaster, isn't it? I mean,
it's a nightmare. At least they got it corrected before general release.
Yeah.
Which is obviously why you do early access.
But I can imagine whichever Square Enix office it was were like, oh my God, we've got to sort this.
Oh crap, what do we do?
Total nightmare.
Yeah, I imagine Yoshi was not happy. And of course, we've currently got the event to gather a lot of items from like A Realm Reborn, especially the elemental ponies and stuff. If you haven't got them and you want them, now is the time to do it.
Stuff that are no longer readily available.
Well, it is. It just you'd have to grind for them now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the Answers roll, which is one of the ones I want, that's like 24 mil on the exchange. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's
not the type of money you have lying about every day, is it?
Exactly. Well, I've got 26 at the minute, but that's put away. So,
yeah,
if a mansion comes up, I'm going to grab it. Obviously, my kid having sleepovers this week means I've lost a couple of days grinding time, which,
yeah,
be right. I've got till 28th, so
yeah,
and then we'll get a 24-hour maintenance, possibly 48.
Yeah, I think it was 24 last time.
Yeah, I think it is for the big expansions. So that'll be due the Tuesday before, I think, or the day before even. It's a Friday, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, 28th is a Friday.
Yeah, 28th is a Friday and the 2nd is a Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, which just basically coincides with PSN.
Yeah.
So it's Sony's store update, innit?
Oh yeah, the
Store update.
the US one.
Yeah. So it's likely the game will go down Wednesday and come back up at 10 on Friday.
Yeah.
But we've definitely covered everything we wanted to. We're all up to date, ready for the expansion, and in just over an hour. Not bad.
Yep.
So, as I said, the next one we'll do a regular gaming cast, go into the stuff we've been up to when we're not on Final Fantasy, that kind of thing. Give you plenty of time to talk about Sekiro.
Yep.
But for the moment, we're good. We're up to date. We're awaiting the expansion, which will actually work out because by the time we do the next one, that'll be a gaming one. Hopefully, by the time we do the Final Fantasy one after that, you'll be in game.
It'll be a month into the expansion, yeah, because it should be early August.
Yep, and we'll be able to talk about Shadowbringers, what we didn't like, what's annoying us, that kind of thing. And we hope you look forward to it. And we will see you next time. I will say, as always, thank you for your time, my friend. It's been good to get this done and get back into the swing of things.
No, it feels good to be playing, but not being like 5 hours a day.
Yeah, not pressurizing yourself.
Because obviously when the expansion comes out, you know, balls to the wall, get what you can done, start a gear,
and keeping up with everyone.
Get the story done, get the dungeons done, and all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's getting through and making sure you keep up, stuff like that. Otherwise, it gets really, really hard to.
It's not being, you know, front of the queue, but it's keeping your own personal pace up so that you know it's like 5 months behind when you do come back.
Yeah, which is not so bad when you get like those free access days where you can come back and clean up a patch or two.
Yeah.
You know, so you can do it in 72 hours or however long it is you get.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 month to go. But it soon comes around.
Oh, right, it'll be here before. I mean, it's already, we're halfway through year, so, you know. Another 7 weeks and my kids are off for 6, so, you know. Don't seem that long ago. I was sending them back.
Yeah, we're nearly in another decade. How scary is that?
Well, if you want to put it that way, we've been out of school for 20 years, mate. It'd have been about this time we were going into study leave.
Yeah, GCSEs and stuff.
Starting GCSEs, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just giving our age away now. Right, anyways, as always, my friend, thank you for your time.
It's no problem. Thanks for having me on. And
I'll catch you next one. Hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll get it recorded and then I've got more time to edit it. So see you later, my friend.
Yep, thank you very much. See you later.
To you guys as well. Goodbye.
Yep, thanks for listening, guys. Bye.